So right here at this bus stop is where little Anthony Seccafico was shot dead. Someone came up, opened fire, he runs down, and dies in the street. Okay everybody, this is Mooney Dashcam. Tonight we are in Arden Hills, Staten Island. We're going to be talking about little Anthony Seccafico. On the drive to where he was murdered, we're going to go over every possible reason why he could have been murdered. And trust me, there's a lot. Then at the end, we'll speculate which one makes the most sense, or if none of them make sense, or if all of them make sense. So let's flip this around and get into it. So this murder happened July of 2009. The address that we're going to, really the corner that we're going to, is Arthur Kill Road and Alyssa Way in Arden Heights, Staten Island, like I mentioned. As we drive to where he was murdered, I'm going to go over pretty much his whole mafia career and all the things that he did wrong, and then at the end we'll decide if those are valid reasons to kill him. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at mooneydashcam. I post on there pretty much every single day. Any crime scene photos that can't go on YouTube end up on the Instagram, so check that out. Also, don't forget to leave suggestions for future videos in the comment section. I very much appreciate those. I get a lot of inspiration that way. And hit the notification bell so you guys can see exactly when I post a new video. So little Anthony Seccafico, 46 years old when this went on. He was described as a stocky, short-tempered, 5'5" kickboxer with a long rap sheet. In 1985, he was locked up for drug dealing. He has arrests for assault, menacing, and attempted murder. Early on in his mafia career, he was kicked out of a Genovese crew for being a hothead. Like I said, he was known for having a short temper. Then he got involved with the Bonannos, since his father ran a gambling operation for them. His father was a Colombo. His nickname was Tony Smash. I didn't do any backstory on Tony Smash, but that is an interesting nickname. In 2002, little Anthony got locked up along with 19 other Bonannos for running a $2.5 million gambling and loan sharking operation. Little Anthony only got 3 months for conspiracy. He was described as just a runner. What exactly that means in that whole operation, I'm not sure. Little Anthony was in Patty from the Bronx DeFilippo's crew. He was a Bronx Bonanno captain. Patty actually helped little Anthony get made sometime after 2003. From then on, little Anthony couldn't help but be a fuck up. So another Bronx Bonanno named Johnny Joe Spirito, he was a very liked member of the Bonanno crime family in the Bronx, is also a part of Patty's crew and was one of the Bonannos that was locked up in the 2002 gambling bust. But then in the summer of 2003, Patty and Johnny Joe got indicted on the 1998 murder of George from Canada. Now this is a weird last name. Scia. Cia? I would assume that's how you pronounce that. That was a murder ordered by Joe Messina. While all this is going on, little Anthony has been delivering money to the wives of the locked up men. So he's going around to all the wives, giving them the money that the men would be making in those times so they don't fall behind their bills and lose their house, so they can still keep up a regular life. But people start suspecting that he's not giving the wives the full amount of money. In 2005, Johnny Boy Spirito, Johnny Joe's son, says to little Anthony, "You're not doing the right thing by my mother." Little Anthony then slapped Johnny Boy out of his seat, saying, "I'm around now, not your father. If you have a problem, tell your father to come to me and see me when he gets home." Not only was he possibly skimming the money that he was giving to the wives, but he was also accused of being a little bit too friendly and hanging out a little bit too long when he would deliver the money. which is obviously disrespectful to all the men in jail. He's kind of trying to get in with the wives, and even if he was just being friendly, I mean, leave it at the door. Step in the door, give them the money, and leave. Don't make it anything more than that. So Johnny Joe ends up pleading guilty to the murder of George from Canada. He got 20 years. He's actually out already. And then Patty didn't want to plead guilty since he was 75 years old and he knew a 20-year sentence would pretty much be a death sentence to him. So he decides to take the chance and go to trial, which a lot of these guys don't do anymore. While he waited for trial, Patty, he lost over 100 pounds, meaning that he would need new suits for the court appearances. He wanted to make a good impression, of course. He's an old school gangster. This is what they do. So little Anthony was told to go get him custom fitted new suits from a place called Vito's in the Bronx, where many mobsters have gotten suits before. No surprise here. In efforts to skim some of the money, he went and bought cheap, off-the-rack suits from one of these wholesaler places like Men's Warehouse or Caraco or whatever, one of those kind of places. Patty was livid. He said he wanted to strangle him. Now, this was all pretty much for nothing because Patty ended up getting 40 years anyway for racketeering, conspiracy, gambling, loan sharking, and he actually got acquitted of the murder. Maybe if he had a nice suit, he would have beat the case. Who knows? Who knows? He died serving that sentence. Now, we're a couple blocks away here from where this happened. All this leads up to the morning of July 2nd, 2009. It's a Thursday. Little Anthony is at the bus stop a couple blocks away from his house at about 4 a.m., ready to catch the express bus to Manhattan to get him to his construction job. When someone shows up, it wasn't clear if they pulled up in a car or if they were walking or exactly how this went down. But little Anthony sees him at about 4:15 and either recognizes him and recognizes the guy's going to be bad news, or sees a gun and he starts booking it. Witnesses say they see him start running. The man fires, hitting little Anthony 7 times. Witnesses say they saw him on his back in a pool of blood, moving around saying, my chest, I got shot in the chest. Alright, look, a bus right here. Probably just pulled off from the bus stop and he was killed at. Other neighbors said they heard the booms and they assumed that it was fireworks. Some caught him running through the windows. Then around 4:30, emergency response gets there and tries to get him to respond. It's this bus stop directly to the left. I'm going to make this U-turn. You think I could pull off a U-turn here? I think I can. I think it's wide enough. So right here at this bus stop is where little Anthony Seccafico was shot dead. Someone came up, opened fire, he ran. This is July 2nd, 2009. It's about 4:15 in the morning. Set the scene, probably a warm morning in July. So apparently he runs this way. Say hi to the truck, by the way. Runs down and dies in the street at the entrance to Aspen Knolls. And somebody caught out their window him screaming for help that he got shot in the chest, and pretty much the whole thing unfolded of him dying right here. So this is the last known official mob hit that went down in New York. since he was a made man, it had to have been approved by Bonanno heavyweights. Pretty crazy to think that this is exactly where it went down. You can imagine someone coming, and I would assume they came from this direction. If he ran this way, 7 shots fired, and then dead right over there in the street. I wish he left a little bit more of a clear reason as to why he was killed. He did so much stupid stuff that it makes you wonder what actually was the final thing, like the straw that broke the camel's back, as to why he was murdered. Last time, right in the middle of the street here. Hello, resident. I wonder if he was here while this went on. Say hello to the truck. Nice, good view. It's dirty. I don't want to hear in the comments. I know you'll tell me anyway. A couple of other reasons why he may have been murdered, if there weren't already enough. When he was killed, he was under investigation for planning the murder of Greg Andress, the prosecutor that was making life a living hell for the Bonannos. Also, several months before his murder, Salvatore, the ironworker Montagna, the Bonanno acting boss, was deported to Canada. They think it was a possibility that he was killed in a power struggle for a leading position in the Bonanno crime family. Nobody was ever arrested for killing little Anthony. So I guess that's a good hit. This was in 2009, and nothing that I could find leading to anybody or even suspicion of anybody doing it. So now we get to speculate on which one of these specific things got him murdered. Was it the skimming money from the wives, hanging around the wives too much, slapping Johnny Joe's son, getting the wrong suit for Patty for his court appearance? Were they fearing that he was about to cooperate since he was under investigation for planning that murder? Or was it because of the power struggle going on in the Bonanno crime family? Personally, I have no idea which one it could be. Maybe you guys could tell me. I don't know. I believe that's pretty much everything I have to tell you about the situation, and I will see you guys in the next one.